Hi guys, I'm Igoni Hope, a fashion designer and a stylist. Welcome to my channel. So my channel will be all about sewing tutorials and styling, and I hope you're gonna enjoy, and I have a lot in store for you guys. So get ready by hitting the subscribe button down below for every videos on weekly basis. On today's video, we're going to be sewing a shirt dress which has details, which there are two details in there, which is the collar and the flared sleeves. So let's get right into the video. So the machine that I'm gonna be using is a Janome machine, which is a domestic machine. It's 726 Janome. I'm going to be using this Ankara print fabric, which is an Oriental Java and 100% cotton. It's 6 yards or 5.486 meters. And guess where I got it from? From my sister, and it goes for 1,500 Kenyan shillings. And if interested, I'll link her information in the description. She ships countrywide and at an extra cost. So, and I'm going to be linking down all the materials I'll be using for this project in the description below. So I did my layout on, as you can see. So I didn't have like a long table where I could be able to do my layout, so I had to do it on the floor. And yeah, I was trying to see if my fabric is on straight grain to be able to pin down my patterns on the fabric, and that's what I was doing. So at this point I was pinning my sleeve, and as you can see, my pattern had torn a bit, but I just had to pin it. So at this point I do want to use a lot of fabric, so I had to cut it at that point and place it on fold so that I can be able to lay my collar and my sleeve at that point. So that was what I was doing, and I was making sure that the fabric is lying flat so that I can be able to pin them down. So here I was just measuring to see like how much fabric I've used, and I ended up using like 2 meters of the fabric. So at this point I grabbed my scissors and I was just cutting out the fabric from the layout that I had done. And yeah, that's what I'm doing, right? there trying to figure out like how, in what position I'm going to sit so that I can be able to cut out the fabric. So at this point I had to add like a bit of some seam allowance because I noticed that it was a bit straight instead of being flared at the side seam, so I had to like add an extra like 1 inch in order for it to have a bit of flare on the side. So here I had noticed that I was supposed to cut 2 of each of the collar and the sleeve, and I had folded it once, so I had to fold it again twice so that I can have 2 flares for the right hand and for the left hand side. So I was trying to layer it and straighten it up and pin it down so that I can be able to cut it. So I realized that I had not added a seam allowance on my sleeve, so I had to add like an extra 1.5 inch for the bottom part of the sleeve. And finally I managed to finish cutting out the sleeve. So right now I was figuring out like how will I lay my collar, because it was a bit giving me some challenge, because I didn't know like how, in what way I'm going to lay it down so that it can come out well. But finally I figured out, and I was pinning it so that I can be able to cut it down. So at this point I was sewing my darts, so I was making sure that they're aligned, and to make sure that they're aligned so that I could start stitching them. Then my machine brought some problems and I had to fix it and continue sewing. my front pieces, so that I can be able to sew the bust dart and the waist dart. So I was trying to make sure that I've aligned the darts well, and make sure that I'm able to get the point where the dart is supposed to end, and I'm pinning it and sewing it. So don't worry, there was a lot going on, a lot of story time, and my machine started moving while I'm sewing. So I sew and it moves aside, so I have to pull it back and just continue with me. So I went on and pinned my waist dart, and I was just ensuring that they align as well, and pin it so that I can be able to get the starting point and the ending point of the dart, and to make sure that the fabric does not move. So, and also remember, while you're sewing in the dart, you remember to reinforce at the beginning and at the end, so that you can make sure that when you're putting on your dress or your garment, the dart does not the dart does not open and makes the cloth look a bit weird. So I took my other piece for the front and did the same thing as well. So I took my iron box so that I can be able to press down the darts and make sure they lie flat, so that the fabric does not look as if it's swelling. So I was just trying to iron flat the darts that I had sewn down, to ensure that everything is neat. So at this point I wanted to sew my side seams, so I made sure that I had placed my fabric in the right position. So I was trying to see if my button stand will go well, so I ended up not seeing the side seam first, so that I can be able to see how my button stand will be. So I was trying to press it down with my hands and see if it's going to be the right amount to fold back. So I ironed to make sure that it's flat, and to get that crease line where I'll be able to put my buttons on, and also pressed the other side of the front where now the button holes will be. So don't worry, my table was too small, so I was trying to do everything on it so that it can be clear for you guys to see whatever I was doing. So guys, this is the final garment. This is the collar I was talking about, and the sleeves and the buttons. I used like around 2.5 meters of the fabric, and it took me about like 2 to 3 hours to stitch it, and here is the final product. Thank you guys for watching.